Whoa, that's my fault. Let's get that off there. How's everyone doing? I am Chris Knight, and this is the Rule of Three, a Chaos Central production. And today I have two great people with me, of course, Danny Graham of Comic Chat and Shaun Stackhouse of Shaun Stackhouse Reacts.
What's
you
up?
guys, you guys can be really a little more vocal here.
Sorry, I was.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you guys doing that. So, today we are going to be doing our little round robin here about all sorts of fun stuff. We come up with some questions, some topics, basically just stuff that we are curious about one another's opinions. We ask and we go through it. We each get 3 minutes to talk about that subject. I guess we don't have to use the 3 minutes. I mean, it's kind of whatever you guys want to do. And then we will take 3 minutes if we don't agree. If we do agree, whatever, we can talk about the subject a little bit more in a combined fashion. So basically, all three of us will get our 3 minutes, and then we'll do 3 more minutes. And we will pick 3 topics. So that's pretty much the gist of this. That's why it's called the Rule of Three. And
pick 3 topics. I understand.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
We might pick more. We'll see where we're at after 3 topics. That's kind of the thing. So, real quick, we're going to go ahead and share the screen. This is our wheel of topics today. All sorts of great stuff on there. I'm going to do this real quick. All right. And we're going to spin. First off, since Shaun, you weren't on last week, we'll let you start.
Okay.
All right. Lack of strong female characters. Ooh. Name one strong female character from before 1990 and why they were considered
that was a tough question
strong.
For me. Oh my
God. Yeah, hold on here. Let's remove that and we're going to bring the timer up.
Oh, no, wait.
What was that?
I changed my answer.
Okay. Well, you're allowed to do that, I think, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. All right. So your 3 minutes will start now, Shaun.
Okay. Actually, Teela and She-Ra. Teela was from 1983. She-Ra was from 1985. Teela obviously did not have powers, and she's the one that trained Adam to, learn his royal combat skills. She was the captain of the guard for the royal palace. She-Ra, on the other hand, was He-Man's twin sister, and she had her power from Grayskull, and so those are 2 very extremely powerful women way before 1990. Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, another one. Even though it had the budget it did of the day, she was still very, very powerful. She embodied Wonder Woman with how she portrayed the character. I mean, you could even go back and say Margot Kidder from Lois Lane. She was a no nonsense Lois Lane. Very much so. Mainly from the first Superman. From Superman 2 on, not so much, but from the first Superman, if you were to tell her not to do something, she would do it because she wanted the story. So there are a lot of strong and powerful females that predate 1990, and I think a lot of people overlook them for whatever reason, and it's a shame. It really is. But yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Okay. All right. We'll let you go on that. All right. So are you ready, Danny?
Yes.
All right.
Went up my ass, so
go out of it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go back to 1976 when I was 6 years old. During that time, I used to watch a show called The $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
And it spurned a show called The Bionic Woman, who starred Lindsay Wagner. She played Jamie Summers on the television show, and basically she was the girlfriend of Colonel Steve Austin. If any of you are familiar with the show, you know, of course, he got blew up in the space shuttle type mission. And Oscar Goldman, who was his friend and director over whatever the name of the organization was able to come up with $6 million to basically make him the first bionic man, which had two bionic arms, one bionic arm and a bionic eye. And basically the same kind of sort of accident happened to his girlfriend, Steve Austin's girlfriend, Jamie Summers. She was on a parachuting or skydiving, recreational skydiving, and she got hurt and injured, but instead of her eye, it messed up her ear. So she had basically the same two bionic legs, one bionic arm, and she had a bionic ear. At first, she kind of rejected like he did, but once she got grips to it, she became like another agent. She was very strong, powerful. She had a good, kind heart. She grew up to speeds of 60 miles an hour. I'm not sure what her strength level was, but she could lift several tons. She could hear several miles. So basically, because of my love for the $6 million man, I kind of gravitated towards Lindsay Wagner, Jamie Summers, the bionic woman. The show wasn't as good or as exciting to me, but it's still something that I remember. Something that when I was a little child, I much imitated being the $6 million man, and I would steal her powers. I could be able to hear also. So, but her and Steve Austin together were always a good pair, and I always liked her because of the power she had. She had, like I said, a kind heart, a good heart, and she didn't use her powers for evil. Where there was some, if you watch the shows when they were given bionic powers, they used their powers for evil. But her and Steve was always able to control those powers and do what's good and do what's right, and were the ultimate heroes. So she was a very strong woman. I think she was ahead of her time. I'm not sure, but I think the Bionic Woman came out even before Wonder Woman. I have to research that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But far as first superhero that I can remember in my mind was the Bionic Woman. And I think she kind of pioneered that world, and she what sticks out in my mind today when I think of strong women.
Awesome.
Perp, glad to see you in here, sir.
What was that?
I was just saying hi to Perp.
Oh, hey, Perp, what's going on? Glad to have you here. All right, my 3 minutes. Let's go with this. I would say, and like you guys kind of mentioned, there's more than one. I mean, Linda Carter, the She-Ra, there's lots of them. But I always thought Ripley from the Alien series.
Good choice, too.
She embodied the perfect strong female. She didn't want to have the power. She didn't want to be where she was, but she knew she didn't have a choice. So she dealt with it, and she persevered through the problems. And if you watch the stories, the movies, especially Alien and Aliens, those are the two real good ones to go to watch how her character evolves. In the first one, she's the one that says, wait, we can't let this thing in here. We can't do this. We can't do that. She's overpowered. She's outnumbered. She's outvoted, and they do it anyways. And so when everything goes to hell, she herself pulls herself together to survive. She tries to help the others, but much like if you've ever gone through active shooter training, they'll tell you if you can't save somebody else, if they don't want to go, you just can't do anything about it. You have to go and save yourself. And that's basically what she does. She tries where she can to help people, but when they won't do what she wants or when they won't listen to her, she just says, screw it. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to go. I got to protect myself. And she goes one-on-one with a hellish creature. And the probably the thing that makes her the strongest is that she's not perfect and she's not scared. She's scared out of her mind. Mm-hmm. She is just terrified, but that doesn't change that she still knows there's something she has to do. You move to the second film, and while yes, the original cut doesn't have a lot of this stuff in it, she comes back. She's relieved to be back home, but then she finds out it's been like so many years after the fact. Her daughter, who was just a child when she left, is now dead because she aged You know, she was on Earth. She aged normal age, and she wasn't in this sleep state. So she finds out about that. It devastates her. She's so absolutely devastated over this. And then they basically force her to prove what happened and go back to where she just had come from. And again, she's absolutely, no, I don't know. I'm not doing this. I'm not going. And when she gets there, same stuff starts to happen again. She ends up coming across a child. And in this whole time, she protects the child like a mother because this is her bond. And now she has this reason she's going to, again, do this again. And it's the same thing. But she basically builds herself back up. She falls down. She builds herself back up. That's a strong female.
That is a strong female. You're right.
All right. 3 minutes. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, the three of us. Here it is, guys. This is kind of what I thought about this. So many people say that there aren't strong female characters, and there's so many movies forcing strong female characters on us that are absolutely perfect to the T, and everybody, you know, they can do whatever they want. They're just perfect. Is that a strong female character, though?
Yeah, I can name a bunch after 1990.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in today's climate, it's like the strong female character has no actual character. She's just given these things to make her strong. We don't ever see it build up. Well, name one currently, and I mean I'm sure there are some, but name somebody, a current female character in the past 10 years that fits something like Ripley or like Linda Carter and the Bionic Woman and the struggles that they had to get to where they were.
Well, if you go, let me go a little bit further back. I can name you three off the top of my head. If you watch enough, starring what's her name, J-Lo, out there's a perfect, and I see that every day, where she had a controlling husband that tried to just use his money and power to get the child. She's able to go and learn how to fight for herself and think, and not be this helpless victim. In the end, she ends up defeating the man.
Mm-hmm.
That shows a lot of strength that I don't see in my profession that much.
Yeah, but you have to go back farther than what I just said, 10 years. Since 2010, a lot of female characters have just basically been granted the strength from the get-go. They're automatically
name a movie where a female character has to learn the strength.
Basically, they have to become what you know as a strong female. And I'm talking in the past 10 years. I mean, I'll make it even easier. The past 5 years.
I'd have to think about that. You just don't jump out at me.
And that's the thing. I mean, I went 1990. I think if I brought it up to 2000,
the only one that I could think of would probably be Laura Croft, and that's only because she got a lot of her training from her father.
That's true. And I mean, there's moments there that things don't go perfect for her,
right?
So I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's still kind of a stretch because Laura Croft, if you know anything about the game, she's a strong female character from the beginning when you meet her.
Yeah, but the I don't know if you've seen the recent movie or not, but it shows a lot of the backstory.
Does it? I mean, the ones with
Angelina
Jolie, they show some backstory, but no, I have not seen the new one yet, so maybe that's the case. But all right, okay, let's spin this wheel and see where we're at now with the next one.
Oh, I got a perfect one for you. We've done past, but Hidden Figures.
Okay.
That showed a perseverance of 3 different women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Yep. Do you think the new Batman will outperform Wonder Woman 84? I think Shaun and I were looking forward to this question.
Yeah.
Do you think that the new Batman will outperform Wonder Woman 84? Shaun, since you started, we're going to go ahead and do you first again.
All right.
3 minutes on the board. Go ahead.
Well, look, Batman has always been Warner Brothers' golden boy when it comes to movie sales, except for, Batman and Robin. Aside from that, Batman has, backed the Brinks truck up to Warner Brothers. as far as the Batman outperforming Wonder Woman, it's possible, but Wonder Woman is already established in this timeline. Her movie did like just shy of $1 billion, you know, and this is an all new Batman with an all new suit, all new car. You know, they're starting everything all over again. We've already seen his origin story in Batman Begins. I don't know. I think it'd do well, but I don't know because I'm expecting Wonder Woman to gross like 1.5 billion at least. So, and I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, during their theatrical run, well, I don't think any Batman movie has grossed $1 billion in its theatrical run. You might double check that, Chris, but um, I think if the only way that I think that it could outdo Wonder Woman 84 is if it's actually an adaptation of Batman: The Long Halloween. If it is The Long Halloween, then there's a darn good chance that it could match or outgross Wonder Woman. But aside from it being an adaptation of one of his epic comic adventures like The Court of Owls or The Long Halloween, or something along those lines, I just don't see it happening.
Are we talking we're talking worldwide, right?
Yeah, we're talking worldwide.
Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight both eked out about Dark Knight Rises did 84 million over 1 billion, and The Dark Knight did 3 million over 4 billion. But other than those two movies, no. And their domestic was only about $500 million.
Okay. And those were the Nolan franchise films.
Yeah.
And so, and with that said, you know, Matt Reeves, I'm really kind of apprehensive about Matt Reeves. I think if this would have been directed by Ben Affleck, I think easily this could have outperformed Wonder Woman 84. But Matt Reeves just, I don't know. He just doesn't strike me as somebody who has a very good handle on the Batman lore. But I want to be proven wrong. I look forward to being proven wrong on this case because I want Batman to always succeed.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, Danny. 3 minutes on the board. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here you go.
I definitely think Batman has the potential to surpass Wonder Woman and make the $1 billion mark. I will take one of the points that Shaun pointed out and use that too. If it's The Long Good Night, I definitely think that could be potential moneymaker because the storyline is so long they can make that into 2 parts.
It could be a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or it could be a trilogy, like he said. Also, I think if they do year 1 and show more of his detective side and that kind of stuff, I think that could be kind of interesting because we really hadn't seen that side of Bruce Wayne in great detail. Also, Pattinson brings a lot of female fans from the Twilight series, so they see him in this new thing, and he's up in the big screen again. Some of that star power and some of that female gaga goo goo, oh my lord, he's so fine stuff that might put butts in the seats, which will translate to dollars being made at the movie. So that's a factor we got to factor in also as well.
That happened with Aquaman too, so you're right there.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman is definitely going to do well because Gal Gadot is not hard to look at. Nerds like us are going to definitely go see and critique. And it's going to, I think what's going to get this movie seen more is going to be word of mouth. How many people are going to go to the movie and say, look, man, Wonder Woman is hot. Well, how many people are going to go see Batman and say, look, man, you got to check this out because Batman do some shit, this stuff that we ain't never seen before. So I think the word of mouth and what's really going to be a deciding factor for me is this trailer. So far, we've seen clips, and the clips look very promising. They look very like, man, they're doing everything right so far. The pictures of him on the motorcycle and the suit, I can see. I'm not mad at it. The pictures of the Batmobile was very exciting this last week. You know, when they were revealed, if you get a cool, hot car, that's going to bring some people to there just to see, man, how's this Batmobile going to look? So I think that if the script is good, if it's the Long Halloween, which I think I would definitely do either 2-part, kind of like Infinity War and Endgame, or a trilogy. I don't know if I'd go for a trilogy, but it just depends on how in depth they get, or if they do some kind of Arkham. If they do an Arkham and we get to see all the cool Batman gadgets and stuff like we see in the game, that might be something that's going to whet the appetite of moviegoers. And I think it's going to bring new people that weren't familiar with the old Batmans back because of the popularity of the games. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think 1,000% it has potential to do better than Wonder Woman, but they just have to make sure that they create the perfect storm and don't do any kind of crazy missteps.
Cool. All right.
I think it's a good chance it will be a Long Halloween, because Long Halloween was very early in his career as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see that.
Okay. I will say this. Can it? Sure, it's Batman. Will it? I'm not positive about that. And I'm not very hopeful at the moment that it will. But first off, you mentioned Pattinson's following. This is Batman. This isn't Twilight. So they might start to go, but this isn't Aquaman. Aquaman was a man with his shirt off, and that's why women like him. And this is not that. This is Batman. This is violence. This is dark. And it's what we've seen so far in pictures, it's still going to be dark. So that means there's going to be some violence in it. I don't think those people are going to follow it the same way that they did Twilight. And they may start to go, but I don't think it's going to pull the numbers as soon as they go, oh, yeah, no, it's not really what we like or something. I'm not saying that's not that's going to be the way it's going to go. I just see that's the way that it could go. It's another reboot.
Yeah.
And I've said this time and time again about DC. How many times can you reboot and reboot and reboot and reboot before people are just going to be tired? And yeah, Batman's been lucky to have so many reboots and not fallen so far. But how long does that luck run out? Or how long does that luck run? Now, the one thing that I do know about Wonder Woman right now is that I haven't seen advertising for it. They've literally just left it. Where is it gone? No Super Bowl advertising, no advertising on big weekends. It just, where is it? I mean, even if it's in the theater, where is it in the public eye? So maybe that can make it so Batman would beat it. But I don't know, because if DC's not starting to actually advertise for these things and push these things, I'm kind of skeptical about Wonder Woman in and of itself in some ways. I like the look of what I've seen so far. It's all right. I mean, it's not like earth shaking to me yet. I want to know what the storyline is. So like Danny, I think that we need to see the trailer. We need to see a more of a definite, this is what the plot's going to be. And we would know then, is it just a year one movie or is it the Long Halloween? And I'm with you guys. Long Halloween all the way is the way they should go. Hopefully they're listening to fans. Hopefully, because I've seen a lot of people say that that's the way they hope that this goes. You mentioned the Batmobile. I like the look, but it's really stripped down. And I just don't know if a billionaire like Bruce Wayne wouldn't have gone more high tech immediately. But I know that in the comic books, there are comic books where this is very reminiscent of the year one stuff and, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm all right with that too. So Arkham, I would love to see something with Arkham. And if this series with Pattinson goes well, maybe they'll go there. So I hope that too. So,
yeah.
All right. We'll do 3 minutes to talk a little bit more about this. I think we're all in agreement in a way.
No, I'm not worried about the reboots. I'm not one of those people that if you reboot something to death, this is like a remix. I hear the original song, and most times the remix are better than the original song. Not in all cases, but in most cases, in the hip hop genre. I won't say nobody else genre. I listen to a lot of hip hop, and most of the time, when I hear a remix or a club mix or something, about damn.
No, yeah, no.
More aggressive beat.
The thing about, I mean, it's not reboots in general. I think when it comes to Batman, it's about, how many times do you have to sit and pay money to see Bruce Wayne's parents die?
There's that.
You know,
Okay, I understand that. That is for the casual fan. The casual fan is going to
Casual
keep
fan by
going.
now should know that too.
Batman's been around since 1938. If the
Okay, but
fan
there's some
doesn't
people
know-
don't have a clue about some of the people in Batman. It's the geeks like us that's going to keep going and be like,
Okay,
I know this is the 5th reboot, but I'm a Batman fan. I'm gonna
he
see
has
if they
a
gonna
valid
do this
point,
right.
Danny. He has a valid point.
I disagree.
We're not talking about
Hold on, Chris. Batman's been around since 1938. If the casual fan doesn't know that Batman became Batman because his parents were gunned down in Crime Alley, then
not going.
they're just not even going to bother going to see it.
I got 3 females in my house that couldn't tell me shit about a superhero, and I do this thing just about every week. My 2 daughters and my wife, they don't care, but they'll go if I go and be asking me 50 million questions each time. Who's that again? Why is he the Penguin? Why is he the Joker?
Well, that's fine. The Joker.
I do this every day.
But that's not the origin
story
of. That's not necessarily the origin story of killing Batman's parents every iteration.
Okay,
yeah, that is a guarantee. You know that almost every film has a flashback to it.
Yeah,
I mean, and not that we don't need that, but we don't need to be going over it all the time. Maybe one quick mention of it.
Hold this to like 100 females or half and half.
Yeah, but it's not just about females. No, because females aren't going because they know the story. They're not going because they want to go. They go because their boyfriends or their husbands, their dads. That's why they go.
And they don't know.
And
they're casual fans.
To be fair, there are a lot of women like Mads who is a Batman or who are Batman fans who will go just because they're fans.
I'll tell you what, I will poll. I will do a poll and we'll see what comes up.
All right.
We'll see about that. Yeah, that's about our time right there. So yeah, I mean, but
we gotta remember, we'll do this tomorrow. But there have been some people on these questions that we ask on my show on Monday nights. The man said, "I got to do my research. I never heard of that person."
Yeah, well,
that's true.
Okay, one last time. Does it beat Wonder Woman 84? Yes or no, Danny?
Yes.
Shaun?
Oh, if it's a yes or no, no.
No, I'm no too. And even though I'm still really skeptical of both movies, I think Wonder Woman has a better chance of hitting the $1 billion mark.
What did Wonder Woman make? What did Wonder Woman make the first movie?
Billion something, wasn't it?
It wasn't $1 billion. It was close to $1 billion.
It was a surprise.
I think
a lot of people.
We'll make one quick point, then we'll leave. Chris just said in his first 3 minutes that Wonder Woman's been out now. Well. And they haven't used any big commercials on Super Bowl and the weekends, none of that stuff. Batman ain't even been really. It's just now started filming good, and we got more about Batman than we got about Wonder Woman.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Or just as much.
Same thing happened with Wonder Woman's first film. They didn't advertise her any better than they're advertising this.
Yeah, I mean, I know that too, and
put a lot of men in those seats.
Will Gentry said Wonder Woman made $860 million.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. All right. Well, let's go to the next one. Spin it. We'll switch this one up. Danny, we'll have you go first. We got time. We can we've only been going for about 30 minutes. We might do another topic after this. Okay. If you could be a part of any sitcom family, who would it be and why? If you could be a part of any sitcom family, who would you be or who would it be and why? Danny, your 3 minutes starts right.
I was hoping I didn't get this question. Sitcom family, God. It's kind of bittersweet. I grew up on the Cosby Show, but now do I want to really attach myself to that negative stigma that's on there now? But I always thought the Cosby Show was cool. I always thought I was a fan of the comedy that was on there. Their interaction with Theo and Denise and Sonia and Rudy. I always thought that show was just cool. Another show.
I knew that I wanted.
I thought that Family Ties was pretty cool. What's the one with Michael J. Fox?
Family Ties.
That was Family Ties.
Family Ties, yeah. I always thought that Michael J. Fox was funny and cool. The way he treated his brother, the connection he had with his brother versus his sisters was always. He kind of gave Mallory a hard time. I think that was his sister's name. Wasn't it Mallory?
Yeah, Mallory.
Mhm.
But then when he had a little brother, he was like real protective with a little brother.
Little
Well,
Andrew, yeah.
That was the last season, wasn't it, Shaun?
Yeah. Last couple seasons.
Yeah.
But he was born in season 3.
Yeah.
He tried to kind of model him after him, and they were kind of dressed like, I think, on some episodes and stuff. And the last one, I think I would definitely like to be a part of the Fresh Prince family.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always thought Will and Carlton was cool. Well, Carlton was just geeky, but I could see myself interact with those two. With Will, it's always going to be something funny or something crazy. But then at the same time, they would cover shows. Got a echo.
Yeah.
But I remember the one episode where Carlton had the gun. I think they would jump.
Oh, that was
getting shot, and Will made Carlton, gave him the gun. I thought that was very touching. And they have a lot of goofball times on there, but also they cover some very serious topics, which was a healthy mix of both of them.
That really launched Will Smith too.
Yeah. I like the dad. I like the first mother better than the second.
Me too.
She had better chemistry. But I always thought that show was cool. I'll probably watch every episode over and over. And one last, my favorite show, I watch this every day, Monday through Friday. Andy Griffith and Mayberry. Barney is king. I watch that every day, and Barney is the ultimate fool. I can see myself pulling pranks on him and just being involved in that little community.
Yes. Awesome. All right, Shaun, your 3 minutes.
Can I share my screen, please?
Yes. Hold on. All right, here we go. I knew it.
Yep. This would be my sitcom family right here.
Okay, well, before we get hit, I knew you were going to pick that.
Oh, yeah. And the reason is because, the dynamic between the family members was just so unique. Stephen Keaton had such a dry sense of humor when it came to dealing with his children, and Alex, Alex was a member of the Young Republicans Club, and his parents were 60s liberals. And I remember one specific episode in the first season where they were going out for it was Thanksgiving, and their parents were going to go picket nuclear plant in their town, and the grandparents or the grandfather threw a fit and stuff, and I've always thought that I could be a member of the Keaton family. I love the show. And I think I would fit in pretty well. I wouldn't be a member of the Young Republicans Club. I would probably be more like Jennifer, who is right in the middle. But yeah, definitely the Keatons. It's always been the Keatons for me.
Is that all you need? It's just 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay. I should have known.
The entire song. I'll play the entire song.
No, that's all right. We don't need to hear the entire song.
Maybe.
Okay, so when I got this question, I was like, at first I was like, oh, sitcom I want to be in. Oh, I could easily answer that. But then I read family. And that's the key there, is the family part of it. So yeah, the family ties, definitely could see that. I could definitely be a part of that family. But I knew Shaun would pick that. So I said, no, can't pick that one because, well, that's Shaun's baby. And ask him if that is his baby. I mean, we probably both watched it as much as the other, but that is Shaun's baby. I would pick the Dukes off the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
It was a blended family. That's the first thing you have to remember about.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were together their whole life until my father died. So I'm not technically from a blended family. I never dealt with that with my family, but I always liked the fact that Jesse treated them like kids, not the cousins or not the nephew. It was like they were his sons. He protected his kids, and he protected all three of them, and he always looked out for them, even if he had to sometimes cross the law to fix some things and stuff. But the thing I loved about it
I never knew this. Did they all have the same parents?
No,
they were
Daisy, if I remember right, and I'd have to go back and really look into it. I think Daisy was Uncle Jesse's daughter, and Bo and Luke were his sister's kids, and you never really get into the dynamic of that.
I never knew.
But Bo and Luke are the cousins of Daisy.
I know that.
Later on,
I thought Bo and Luke were actually cousins because I swear they called each other cousin from time to time.
Maybe and that's the thing. I had to go back and really look into it.
All three of them were cousins, but I didn't know which one were they same parents or different parents.
You see, I know that at least Bo and Luke. I thought that they were from the same parents, but I'm not positive. And again, Shaun,
where was it set in? Like Tennessee or
it was set in Hazard County, which is actually, if I remember right, in Georgia.
Yeah. Okay, so they could have all shared the same father, and still have been cousins,
But just the dynamic. They were about value, but they were about fun. And Jesse had come from a place that he didn't want them to go to, which is he was a moonshine runner, and he got lucky. He was let off the hook as long as he agreed to never do it again. And that's how he got the Bo and Luke out of on probation. Is he agreed to stop running moonshine and making moonshine if they would let Bo and Luke go on probation. Of course, the whole time they were on probation, but he was always looking out for those guys, and so I always liked the dynamic of that family.
But I mean, in actuality, man, there are so many great family sitcoms that it would be fun to be part of. I mean, Who's the Boss, Family Matters, I mean,
Family Matters.
Anything like TGIF on Friday nights, back in the day on ABC, like Boy Meets World.
How did ABC go from TGIF and those shows to ABC Family, where you have Pretty Little Liars and all that crap? It's like they went from wholesome values to smut. I mean,
I know.
It's like, how does that happen?
And you have to remember though that the majority of the TGIF stuff was created before Disney even owned ABC. Disney didn't own ABC until like 93. So
true. But they kept on that for a little bit. I mean,
well, they did. But I mean, so all of this smut that's on ABC Family is coming from Disney.
But isn't that really kind of oxymoron? ABC Family, let your kids watch.
Well, now it's called Freeform, but
that's
ABC
Family. Freeform probably fits it better. I mean, that's probably why they dropped ABC Family, because they're like, well, it's not really family.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. All those, Who's the Boss? Even what was it? What was Different World spun off of? Was that the Cosby's? Yeah, you see. Yeah. I mean, and Danny, you shouldn't feel guilty or care about the associations. I've always said I separate actors and their work.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to have been a part of the Cosby family. I mean, well, the Huxtable family, I should say. The actors may be pieces of crap, but the characters they portray are timeless, and I don't think it's fair to put a stigma on the characters that they play just because the actor's a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And that's the thing about the Duke boys, the Dukes, Dukes of Hazzard. I don't understand why that one was pulled off the air. I mean, there's no value behind it.
When they went to Coy and Vance, it lost steam.
Well, yeah, but no, what I mean is you can't get it on. You cannot watch it on TV right now because they have
that flag on the General Lee.
Yeah,
that's all. That's the only reason why. And if you watch the
it's
film,
not even the Confederate flag; it's the battle flag.
Yeah, and if you watch the show, there's not a racist bone in their bodies, and that's the thing I never understood.
What I see now in this politically correct world we live in, they love to harp on if it offends one person, then it's offensive.
Yeah,
right.
That's what. In some instances, that can be a double-edged sword. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so we've been going for about 41 minutes. Let's do one more, and then we'll talk a little bit outside of that for a minute. Let's see here. Spin one more.
Javion, I don't want to be on Good Times Evans because they were broke ass.
True story.
All right. With the success of The Mandalorian and the Clone Wars, is there still hope that Star Wars can be saved? This is going to be a contentious thing for a lot of people. I know Steven probably in the chat probably would say, no, it can't be saved. But let's talk about this. Danny, go ahead. You're going to start 3 minutes with the success of The Mandalorian and Clone Wars Season 7, so on and so forth. Is there still a chance that Star Wars can be saved?
I definitely think there is a chance. I have faith in Dave Filoni. I have faith in Jon Favreau. I definitely have faith in Kevin Feige. So as long as these 6 hands and 6 eyes and 3 heads are involved in this project, and from time to time they can get a little feedback or input from George Lucas, I think there is definitely hope. And Maz, I know that was a lot of ifs, but that's one word I could use that will tie that together. I have seen Mandalorian, as we all have. I think it was outstanding, except maybe for one episode, it was kind of lackluster. The whole series, in my opinion, was fantastic. I have watched all 3 episodes of Season 7 of the Clone Wars, and they're introducing a new group called the Bad Batch. I'm very intrigued by the Bad Batch. I have a lot of questions that hasn't been revealed yet, but I definitely think they're going to start picking up a little bit. The shows hadn't been slow, but they've just been more or less giving you the backstory of this new crew that they're introducing to the Star Wars universe on Clone Wars. I can see from the drawing on the Clone Wars that Anakin is looking a little bit more darker. Like his clothes are looking darker, his hair is longer, he's more stoic, he's kind of not the happy-go-lucky Anakin that we saw in the first few seasons of the show. He's more serious, he's more dark. He's kind of sneaking behind the scenes now and talking to Padme behind the Jedis, but I think Obi-Wan's kind of figured out. I don't want to throw too much of a spoiler in there, but if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes of Season 7, you need to watch it. I think they're going to definitely ratchet up. They kind of did a different take on what I thought it was, because on Season 6, they were showing how Yoda was getting premonitions of how the dark side's coming and that he needed to prepare and that kind of stuff. And I thought they were going to pick up from that, but they didn't. They're going a totally different direction. I'm not sure what George Lucas is doing, but again, I have faith in his process. Philadelphia 76ers say you got to trust the process. So I'm going to trust the process between Dave Filoni, George Lucas, Jon Favreau, Kevin Feige. I hope rumors that we heard that they kicked Kathleen Kennedy or banned her from the set. I hope that's true, or to a certain extent. She doesn't need to add her 2 cents, in my opinion. I think we let those 4 or those 3, or those 4 minds collaborate, that Star Wars can get back on the right track. The fans, you got to be patient. Don't have to always stick to this damn word that they love to call canon. Sometimes you got to go off of canon. If the idea is good, you can then interweave it and it makes sense. that sometimes canon can be pushed aside, in my opinion.
Okay. Shaun, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Cool. I think there's a good chance that it could be saved as long as they go like way in the past or way in the future and stay away from, anything Skywalker related. Except for the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is doing fine in that time period. I think that's fine. But I think if you, like Danny said, if you wanted to do something that wasn't necessarily canon, I think the Old Republic would be the place to do it. Because you could create you could create a new canon that could also eventually move into the current canon if you did it correctly. And so I think there is a strong possibility, but if they keep, so we have 7, 8, and 9. So if they do 10, 11, and 12, and they're of the same time period, I just don't see them doing well. I don't think they have a clue how to continue on from where they left off. I don't think they had a clue how to pick up where George Lucas left off. I think what Disney needs to do is go back to the Old Republic days. What is that, like 400 years ago or something? And play in that sandbox a little bit, because there's not a whole lot you can mess up. There aren't like as many beloved characters from the old Republic as there are from the original trilogy. When you mess up Luke Skywalker, you piss off a lot of people. If you mess up some people from the Old Republic, well, it's never been a movie. So, I think they'll have a little bit more freedom there. And I honestly would love to see an Old Republic movie. I think it would be cool. See how the also, to see the origins of the Jedi and the origins of the Sith. I think that would be another cool idea. There's so much that they could do without tying it directly into what has been done already.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And just keep going forward with the Mandalorian. Leave Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni alone. Let them keep doing what they're doing, and I think we'll be fine.
Cool. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm looking up something.
Yeah, we could go back and just do like the rule of two.
Well, and I think they might think about that, but it's, again, as much as Kathleen Kennedy has said there isn't source material or something, there is, and
yeah,
they're still finding it. Okay, I'll go ahead and go with let's start with what Shaun mentioned about the Old Republic. There's a lot of people who know a lot about the Old Republic, and just as many people who would get pissed off if it's not handled well. But there is merit to what he says. We haven't seen it on screen. That alone leaves for a lot of variance and a lot of ability to do something and say, well, but we're doing this in a different light. And then again, you're staying away from the Skywalker franchise and the Skywalker and all of that, which they really need to go away from. But the heart of the question, Mandalorian and Clone Wars. The Clone Wars being wrapped up, because I think this is the last season they're going to do it. This whole series I've loved because it shows us something we'd never seen before, we'd only heard about. And when I saw Attack of the Clones, I was stoked. And in that instance, that movie is what made the prequels work for me, because that movie went from a kid movie, which I believe the Phantom Menace was, because it had a very young child actor who really just didn't sell me on the part that well. I was okay with the movie. It was like, okay, I know this is something we had to get through. But when we got to the Clone Wars, there was an actual progression when he became a teenager that showed who Anakin Skywalker was. So this series has continued to show us how he got from that movie to the Rise of the Sith, or the Revenge of the Sith, and I love it. And Danny, like you said, I haven't seen any of these yet, but I've heard with the Clone Wars that it's definitely darker this season, and there's definitely a turn where we're seeing that we definitely see him going down that road now. It's like this shows us that turn. I think when we get to Revenge of the Sith, we know it's there, we know it's coming, but we don't see it. So now with this series, if in 7 all the way through it, they actually do start showing him doing things that a Jedi normally wouldn't do, and that there's a change in his thinking and what he does, that will help explain more that this wasn't something that just came on right when Mace Windu was holding Palpatine to try to take him in for justice, because that's kind of the way that the Revenge of the Sith looks, is that's when he makes his decision. But you have to think that it came long before that. He just then realized it. So I'd like to see that. I hope that's what this does. The thing about The Mandalorian is not that it can do it, but if it can even partially answer a lot of these questions that the in between Revenge of the Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, if it can just answer some of those questions, that'd be good. Not that it's going to fix the trilogy, but at least give us a tie-in from Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens. That's what I'm hoping for from the Mandalorian. So do you guys think, are you saying that Star Wars is still savable by what we see?
I definitely think so.
I think there's a good chance, yeah.
I think, Danny, you're absolutely right. Shaun, you're absolutely right. Step back. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I was looking up the director, Deborah Chow. Yep. These people, and again, I think if you get Kathleen Kennedy and the Disney executives, Bob Iger is one of them now. The new guy, whatever his name is, Chapek, yeah. If he doesn't put his hands directly into this, and they can get Bob Iger kind of pulled away from it and get Kathleen Kennedy out of it, I think that they have a better chance of maybe not having George Lucas be a part of it still, but he would be a lot more inclined to reach out to Filoni and Favreau and think, I'll talk to you guys, I'll help you guys, but my name's not going to be in this. Don't talk about it. Just I'm going to be there. I'm going to be.
I'll do it whatever conditions he wants, as long as he want to give us input. There's going to be some spots or somewhere in the story they're going to get stuck, and I think George Lucas' intimate knowledge.
Well, you got to go that way.
I created this, so I'm gonna know what's going to work, what's not going to work. So,
well, I think that's why Favreau and Filoni are still there, is because they have direct access to that knowledge still, and they want the best product out there. And while they themselves have done stuff that is questionable with the product,
Also, you were talking about earlier about Darth Vader. I was thinking back. Anakin made his first step to becoming Darth Vader when he couldn't save his mom. If he went back to Tatooine and was able to save his mom from the Sand People and she had lived, I don't think we would see Darth Vader. But when she died,
those people,
and when he snapped and he murdered them, that was his first step towards becoming Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Often would like to see. I wonder what would happen if he could have saved his mama. Would this be a mute point? I think it definitely would. So,
I think if he had at least gotten his mother back and it had been something else, just like a sickness or something, it would have changed. It was what happened. He left his mom. He blamed himself. He blamed he blamed where she was left and all of that. And if he had gotten her back to the farmstead or the homestead, and she had lived another year or so, and just died of just some sort of illness,
different story completely.
It wouldn't have felt the same way. He blamed so many people for that, and that is exactly where that choice was made originally.
I'm honestly surprised that he didn't come back and slaughter his step family after the fact. Because
I didn't see that. I think they showed genuine kindness towards his mom.
Well,
they saved his mom, and he
Yeah,
didn't
but I
treat
mean,
her like a slave because
I understand, but I mean, you know, the dark side was starting to take shape in him, so he could have easily shown no mercy to anyone who had any connection.
At that time, he still had a conscience.
True.
He was just like, oh,
But how
these
much of a
motherfuckers
conscience?
killed my mom, so I'm gonna take them out.
But
and in that particular moment, I don't blame him. I can't say that I blame him.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, I think most of us would probably think about doing the same thing if that happened to one of our parents, especially, you know, a mother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chris, I put a link for tomorrow's stream in the private chat. If you throw that in the chat, I would appreciate it. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time, Chris and I are going to be reacting to the Australian firefight or Firefest, or what was it called?
Fight for fire, something like that.
Firefight Australia Live Aid full performance from Queen and Adam.
Chris, Shaun, I have to go. Emergency just came up at my house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But, thanks, man. I appreciate
We'll finish
it.
up.
Take care, Dan.
Yep. Go. Okay. So, yeah, guys, that's basically the rule of three. We appreciate you guys coming out. Steven, all of you guys, Mads, Will, Rosetta, Javon, all you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming out. So tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, is the Khaotic Conversation, which is over on Danny's channel. That information is down in the description below. And then on Tuesday, we have the Khaos List, which is over on Shaun Stackhouse's channel right now. What we're trying to do, and I don't know why I have like 3 different things in the background, but okay.
We're trying to get everybody to subscribe to the Chaos Central YouTube channel.
Yes. And so, what we would like is, I'm sorry, I'm looking for some stuff here. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. What we'd like is for you guys to go over there right now. That link is down in the description below. And actually, if I can go grab it real quick, here we go. I'll get this for you guys.
That should have been the background that was up in the beginning, man.
I know, and I just now noticed. I was like, "What the hell?" Gonna drive myself nuts about it. Okay, here we're gonna copy this, and we'll put this in the chat. Yes, there you go, Stephen. There's the link to the Chaos Central YouTube channel. Basically, these 3 shows, the Rule of 3, the Khaotic Conversation, the Khaos List, are all up as soon as we get done with them over there at the Chaos Central YouTube channel. But until that,
be going live over on that for those 3 channels.
Until we get a vanity
we need 100 subs first, so we can get a vanity URL.
Yeah. And then we will start the long, arduous process of trying to get subs. But really, here's the thing. The 3 of us together have well over, about 4,000 subs?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 4 of us, or the 3 of us here with 4,000 subs, if you guys would help us and go over there, and if you like the content, if you like these shows that we do with each other, please go over to the YouTube channel for Chaos Central and just subscribe there. All of this content will go over there as soon as we get it done. And like Shaun said, as soon as we get to about 100 subs, we're more than willing to go and start doing all this over there under the Chaos Central YouTube name. So anything else you want to say, Shaun? We got the stream tomorrow morning at what did we say? 9?
11 Central Standard
Time. 11 Central Standard Time. Okay, yeah.
Just one sec. I'm pulling Chaos Central up here. So we've got 8 subscribers, guys. We need to get to 100 so we can get a vanity URL. So everybody who's listening to it right now, everybody who watches the playback, please go and subscribe, because eventually these shows, like Chris said, are going to be over on that channel specifically, and we're going to go back to business as usual on our 3 channels.
Yeah. because we're just looking to start this off on channels that have some viewership and stuff. So we don't want to bury it. So you guys are the real help here. If you got that link, go ahead and tweet it out. Say, hey guys, you know.
And the link should be down below as well.
Yeah, it's down in the description. Down in the description box. So are the information for Danny and Shaun's channel, since that's where we go to the other shows. The times are down there, all of that. By all means, if you're not subbed to either of them, please sub to them too, because like Shaun said, we still do our own stuff on our own channels, and we're more than happy to have you guys as subs, because I know Shaun and I are really big into the requests and doing the reviews and stuff. So yeah. But with that said, guys, Shaun, anything else? One more? No? Yeah.
I need caffeine in a bad way. That's about it.
Okay. Well, real quick, we'll show this. You guys can help us out if you don't mind. We're going to play a shameless plug, and then we'll be done. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. Are you looking to find the latest in geek culture, gaming news, or awesome opinion pieces while supporting fellow Fandom Menace members? There's a new site for that. Go to chaoscentral.com, and all your needs will be met. Find a wide range of products on our Teespring account. All proceeds of Chaos Central merch go to the KC team members and continuing updates to our website. To donate to the Chaos Central cause or to our channels, all links can be found in the description box below.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Menace. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at Shaun@ShaunStackhouseReacts.com and chrisknight@TheRealReview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.